Welcome back to Breslov.org. Insights in the Parsha of the week. Here in Israel, it's Parshat Mattot, and in diaspora, it's going to be Mattot and Maseh. We're going to focus a little on the first Parsha called Mattot. In it, there's a lot of details, of course, in the Parsha. One amazing thing that we see is that when Pinchas, the son of Elazar, went out with the Jewish soldiers to do battle against Midian, and in the Torah's recounting, Rashi explains the part of the story, is that Bilaam was also there. What was Bilaam doing there? He was there to get his money reward from Midian for giving them a good advice in order to have killed 24,000 Jews by following his advice of introducing immorality to the Jewish people, because until then they were guarded to a certain degree, of course, and also the Goyim, the Midianite, they had been reserved in certain levels of immorality until Bilaam came along and revealed to them to make themselves very loose, God forbid, loose in a negative term of sexual immorality, and in that way to bring down the Jewish people. So Bilaam was now on his way back after receiving his money from the Midianites, and he encountered the Jewish soldiers coming to do battle with Midian. So Bilaam, being a witch, a sorcerer, he was able to fly in the air along with the other 5 sarim, the ministers of Midian. So in flying in the air were these sorcerers trying to use their power of sorcery to fight against the Jews. What did Pinchas do? Pinchas took out what's called the tzitz, which is the front plate of the Kohen Gadol, the high priest that he wears. The Kohen Gadol wears this front plate called the tzitz, which has Hashem's name on it. And all Pinchas did is he raised the gold tas, the gold frontlet, up in the air towards these sorcerers who were flying in the air, and they all fell down and were killed. The Torah is giving this part of the story, and this message comes a lot in Rav Noson's writings and Rabbi Nachman's writings, in that even though there's a rule in Judaism, in the Torah, that for every positive force there has to be, for the sake of free will, a negative force. So if you have in holiness a certain item, there has to be a counterpart in the world of impurity. Just like, for example, there was a Moshe Rabbeinu, so by the nations of the world there was a Bilaam. So too here, there's power of sorcery, so there is a countering force in Judaism of holiness. But even though for all fairness, there's a rule, Mida Tova Meruba. Always the good has to have a tilt of having a little bit of the upper side, because the goal of life is to choose life, to choose good. Even in the Parshat Re'eh, Hashem says, Re'eh, see, I have set before you life and death, good and evil, and Hashem suggests, and choose life, choose the right thing. So in other words, there's always a tipping to the scale of goodness. And in here also, that even though they were sorcerers and they're evil, all Pinchas had to do was to raise the tas, the frontlet of the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, and they all fell down from the air, to show a person that as strong as evil and witchcraft and everything may be, the power of holiness always has an upper hand, and a person has to remember this and never to feel submitted. Oh, look what I'm going through. The Yetzer Hara is attacking me. The evil forces are attacking me. All types of spiritual impurities. A person might have all types of ideas of negativity, having the upper say, and then there's nothing to do. The real truth is that always the holiness has an upper hand and can make a difference. Another good word, as opposed to saying, what use is my words of prayer if anyways I'm trapped in the evil and I have no say in the matter. The real truth is no, that every good word, every good deed, every drop of holiness counts, counteracts, and makes a difference to tip the scale for the good. Shabbat Shalom.